So Friday, August 21st was the last day of school, and my daughter had to go take a Spanish exam, and she didn't want to go take it. I told her I was going to take her phone away if she didn't go to school. We got into an argument. She ran
What was the
away.
reason that she didn't want to take it?
She said it wasn't important.
She felt like she was going to fail anyway.
She's how old?
14.
Okay.
And she just refused, and when I told her I was going to take the phone, she freaked out and ran away.
Literally, physically ran away?
Yes.
Where did she go?
She ran out our back door. We live by a wooded area to a side street, and that was the last place that a person, like one of the neighbors, seen her.
Were you home?
I was at work when I got the phone.
And then, but you were home?
Yes.
Were you heading to work?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
heading to work, and I have 2 other kids at home as well.
How old are the other kids?
15 and 5.
So she just took off.
I just assumed
You figured
she'd
she'd
be right
show up,
back.
yeah,
She
right.
never has
Has
ran
done this
away
before.
So.
All right, so then what happened?
So then, I call my husband, I explain everything. We're like, all right, well, just let her cool off. I'm texting her, like, where are you? She's not responding. And then, come around 3 o'clock, and nobody's heard from her, not even the boyfriend that she lives and breathes for at this age.
How old is the boyfriend?
16, yeah.
And she's 14. All right, go on.
And then, at that point, we called the police, made the report. At that point, it wasn't missing person, it was just a runaway.
Right.
And then as the night got later, it got darker, things got more serious. She's a 14-year-old girl. She has a little bit of mental health issues,
Right.
that we're dealing with. So we were just worried, we didn't know. And their son was literally the only person that my daughter spoke to, and we have the phone records. And
So, but I assumed that it was okay. So did you go to their house and talk to them to find out if your daughter was there?
We went the next day and just asked, have they seen her?
Did you talk to the boy yourself?
The boyfriend comes
Yeah.
out. He said that when she was saying that she was running away, she said, I'm running away and I'm going to a friend of mine's house. And that I'm
and
not
that
going
she
to
shut off
involve
the
you.
phone, and he never heard from her
Right,
again.
that I'm
That's
not-
what he said. So the police took this very seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
She was missing for
We
how many
as well.
days? Well,
6
of
nights.
course you did.
6 nights.
6 nights?
6 nights.
6 nights.
So
Yeah.
So what's happening for those 6 days? The police
So-
are having an all-point
We had
search?
6 detectives, 3 at night, 3 during the day, 24 hours, searching, community searching, SWAT teams in the
Flyers,
flyers,
helicopters.
Helicopters,
Helicopters.
bloodhound dogs, SWAT teams, community searches.
So
I spoke with them. They
no
didn't know
leads, and then what happens?
Well, I mean, basically, we feared the worst because
Well, you should. At that point,
Just now,
they had the detectives convinced that the detectives would come to my house because as a mother, I'm like, that boy, she lives and breathes for him something. He's got to know something. So the detectives are coming to my house telling me, I really don't think he has
This
her. Like,
is-
that's how convincing he was.
they searched that house about 6 times.
searched your house?
They searched their house 6
Your Honor.
times, at least. They came over on the 6th morning and said, we just got done doing another search of their house. And we truly do not know where we
And then
truly
what
believe
happened?
that they don't know.
And then
And then a
got
couple hours later,
into
we-
the mother, Melinda's phone. And
Who did?
The police,
the detectives.
So how did they get your phone?
It wasn't my phone, it was my son's phone.
How did they get? So
He
they
handed it
They
over.
should have gotten his
They
phone from the beginning.
confiscated
They
it. But
No, but
confiscated-
when you say confiscated it, you mean like this? Took it?
Yes, they
So
found,
at this point, they found a message to his mother asking her to distract dad because Claudia has to go to the bathroom. And then the detective said, that's it. They went in and then they found her.
they didn't waste no time. They didn't knock. They just raided the house.
Where was
That's
she?
not-
Underneath
bed.
his bed.
Whose
The
bed?
son's bed, Tyler's bed.
Show me the report. Do you have the report?
Yes.
Hand it over, please. Mom, mission impossible. She needs to pee. Mommy, how are we supposed to occupy daddy? Respondent, that's your son. I'm trying to think of a way right now because she has to get downstairs and back up without him seeing. What? What is this? No, put your hand down, Daddy. You're the one they were trying to occupy. You're the daddy in this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you tell me what's going on, Mommy?
Well, isn't this the most odd-looking couple I've ever seen in my entire life? And they look like they would be hiding somebody in some sort of weird way in the basement of their house. I mean, they look so strange. I mean, one of the guys looks like he's about to do a magic show at Las Vegas, and then she looks like she's about to I don't know, crawl out of your TV or something in some sort of scary movie. I feel like in this instance, something about this doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you why. When someone decides to run away from their parents and then they show up at the person's house and there's adults involved, the number one thing you do is you reach out to the parents and let them know what's going on, especially if you are pretty much aware. I mean, I'm sure you know that there's helicopters everywhere, there's searches going on, and for whatever reason they decide not to. I am so curious as to what they know or what they heard that made it so convincing to them that they needed to lie to the police. They needed to hide this young lady. I don't understand. I'm sure we're going to hear from them what their story is, but for some reason, there's something that makes me think that potentially mom and dad are having some sort of reasoning to why they were unwilling to share this information. And I don't know what it is, but I want to know what you guys think. Let's keep watching.
That was the first day she was there, and I told my son he could not have her at my house. He needed to get her out. I thought she was gone.
I'm sorry. Did you tell that to the police?
No. And that
So
is my
when the
fault.
police were looking for this child, you didn't tell them she was here.
I thought I was keeping her safe because
Why?
Because she told me she was being abused.
By whom?
Her parents.
How?
She says she gets beat. She's coming to school with black eyes. She had a.
Have you ever seen her go to school with a black eye?
No, but when she came to my house, she had a huge goose egg on her head.
A huge goose egg. Did you take a picture?
No.
Okay, because I saw the pictures that the police took. It wasn't a huge goose egg. I did see marks. Now, let me ask you a question. Why didn't you just tell the police that? Because then she would be safe. You could just turn her over to the police because the police were at your house on the 21st. Why didn't you just turn her over to the police?
I wasn't home when the police were there.
Why didn't you pick up the phone and call the police when you heard they came to your house?
That's on me.
Why did you lie to the police?
I thought I was keeping her safe.
Over and over, you lied to the police. Each day they came to your house and you lied. When did you find out that you were harboring a missing child?
When, first of all, I didn't know the whole time. And the message that said that they were trying to distract me because they didn't want me to see her because they knew I was going to call the cops because I could lose.
Did you end up getting charged for obstruction?
Nothing.
Okay, you got charged for obstruction. What's going on with your criminal case?
It's still pending.
Do you understand that while you kept the location of that child secret, because I don't believe for a second, I told him not to have her there. She was found hiding under his bed in your house.
6 days.
Do you understand that there were parents suffering for 6 days while you did this? Do you understand how lame your answer to me, I thought I was protecting her, is when there are police looking for her who could protect her?
Yes, Your Honor.
She's hiding under a bed of your 16-year-old son? What control do you have over your 16-year-old son? What did you do when you found out?
Me?
Yeah, you.
The cops had to get between us because I was throwing him out of the house for lying to me and for harboring a minor in my
What
house.
are you thinking? Are you an adult? Are you a mother? Is that your actual son?
Yes.
How is it that you could allow something like this to go on for 6 days? A manhunt looking for a missing 14-year-old girl who hasn't come home in 6 days, and you know where she is. You know where she is. Did your wife keep this from you for how long?
The whole times, Your Honor.
There's no. I told him that he had to take her out of there. Yeah, and that's special because she spent 6 days there.
Your Honor, they didn't barge into my house. They knocked and asked permission to go up and look. And as every other time I gave them the permission. And
What I don't understand was where was she all those permission times? Why don't you tell me since you're the inside man? Tell me where she was, Melinda.
I don't know. You'd have
Well,
to ask
every time
my
the police
16-year-old
knocked, would you go up and tell your son, hey, they're here?
I wasn't home
wasn't
every
home.
single time. I was at work.
Now that everything happened, I presume that as parents, you have sat your son down and gotten to the bottom of what occurred. So where was she every time the police came?
storage area. We have a house that has a big storage area in the in the second floor.
So
There's-
they would hear a knock and she would go to the storage area?
That's right.
And where was she the rest of that time? How do you
Judge,
not know that
honestly,
there's
I
a
don't
14-year-old
know.
living in your house for 6 days?
I honestly did not
You
know
never
she
walk
was
into
there.
your son's room?
Judge, I'm a certified youth therapist. I could lose my job for this.
That's not my question. My question is, you never walk into your son's room?
Usually upstairs, no, because when I do, his room is trashed and it upsets me. I go up there once a week.
That has a total ring of truth. So you didn't find your wife was acting, how long have you been married to her?
We've been together for 25 years.
You didn't find that she was acting a little hinky?
No, ma'am. No, Judge.
And did she, let me ask you a question. You say, the police had to stand between me and my son. What'd you do when you found out your wife knew the whole time?
My wife's heart is a lot bigger than her brain. I mean, I wouldn't
Her
hit
brain
her.
is about this big.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if that came out the way that you wanted it to sound. My wife's heart is bigger than her brain. I mean, there's something about that just doesn't necessarily rub me the right way that he said that. I mean, it's true. She doesn't have a brain. And it sounds like everyone else here is thinking that. But what's really strange about this is that she was saying that she was trying to protect this young lady. And again, I don't understand how that makes sense. I think there's something else. There's something else going on here, because if that's just the simple lie of I was just trying to protect her, and then there's police who could protect her, who have her best interests in mind, what is it? Because if you handed her over and then she said they're abusing me, then what happens is the police do an investigation over there. I just don't get what this whole situation is with her, but she can't be that dumb. But maybe perhaps she is.
And I don't know about how big her heart is, because your wife is massively, massively out of line to harbor someone else's child.
I agree.
That's not a heart thing, okay? You have no idea. Do you know what you put these parents through? Do you know the suffering they went through? Do you know the tax dollars that you spent by having this massive manhunt with helicopters going on while you kept your little mouth shut about her whereabouts? Do you understand the amount of suffering that you poured on these people?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you?
Yes.
I hope they seek jail time against you.
She's never even
I'm worried
apologized.
that won't happen. What'd you
She's
say?
never apologized,
course
ever.
No.
Apologize!
I'm very sorry for harboring.
Yeah, can you look at me in my eyes, though? That's
I'm
the
very
point.
sorry for harboring your daughter. I should have never done it. I was taking her word, and I didn't know what was going on, and it's my fault.
I don't
It
think
is.
for a second
It
you
is.
ever looked at me.
The
Not
6
for a
years,
second.
the 6 days of suffering are completely your fault. Now, what's going on with your daughter now?
We have her in counseling. She has a mentor. We're all in family counseling as well.
How is it going?
Well, with the interruption from their family, it's not going well at all.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Every day my husband and I will leave to work. She sneaks out. She goes to their house.
The father told the officers she can come here any she wants because there's no order of protection between Claudia and her.
Even though
Can I just ask you a question? Why are you
Yes.
nodding? Why would you guys invite the 14-year-old back to your house after all this?
This was after the judge upstate had said that her and Tyler could see each other. And
Why
there
would
was
you
no
want her
standing.
and Tyler to see her? Why would you want this to continue?
'Cause
You
he-
have zero control over your child?
No,
He's 16.
I have all control over
Do
all
you?
three of
Then
my
why
sons.
would you not want to put the kibosh on this when it
Because
can
he-
only lead to some kind of trouble?
It was legal.
That's not my question, is it?
No, ma'am, but no, Your Honor, it's not. But it was legal, and all I wanted to do was follow the laws. And
Is
if
it
the
because
judge?
you could follow the law and not have her in
Well,
your
I was
house?
supervised.
Considering that you were harboring her, willingly or
not.
not, and that your wife is charged with illegally harboring her and obstruction justice. So why would you want to continue to have her there and to flower this relationship?
The judge at home said that there was no restraining order, and they were allowed.
You
to see
nodded
each
your
other.
head when she said that you had said she's welcome there anytime.
She is, as long as it's legal
Right.
and supervised, which the judge didn't
Supervised by
say,
whom,
but
sweetheart?
by me.
Who's supervising? Oh, all of a sudden you're home now all the time and you know what's going on? 6 days there was a fugitive in your house, a runaway child, but now you're all over it and you know what's going on and supervising stuff.
He's 16 and in love. I mean, he's very depression, and he likes her and he loves her. And
Your Honor, the probation officer went over to their house and told them Claudia is not allowed to be here.
Oh, well then why don't you go to a judge and get them arrested, or why don't you
So
go to...
then-
they can't arrest her because she's only
Not
14.
her, him.
But
Who
we
just
keep
said
trying.
all that.
We send the police
We keep
there,
trying to have him arrested.
And they just, all they'll do is they'll remove Claudia and take her home. So on August 28th, she was there, we've had it. We call the police, we send them there, they send her home. Again, now that's the same day the anonymous CPS reports called in on us also.
Oh, let's talk about
So the
that.
29th,
good.
wait, so
Who
CPS
filed the CPS complaint?
This phone call is supposedly from my 14-year-old daughter who doesn't even have a phone, but she does because Melinda got her a phone. And then there was an anonymous report.
I don't understand. I don't understand how another set of parents can decide they're going to parent your
This is
child.
our frustration.
I'm sorry, and
Right.
that there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
There has to be something you can do
Well,
about
their
it.
son turned 17 on September 4th, and we told our daughter that if she has any contact with him, that we will be pressing the statutory rape charges. That is the only level up that we have had. So we're trying, school's got them separated.
told her,
You
I
are
said-
setting your son up for
I told her, I said,
real
one day
problem.
at their house, I'm calling the cops. Statutory rapes are being charged. I already met with
We
my
have
lawyer.
I don't
We're ready to
want
go.
to do that to a kid and ruin his life.
Well, I met with my lawyer to make sure, so when I do
wanna
act on
do
this, I
everything
want to make
proper.
sure that the 17-year-old was right. When she does get alone with him, the lawyer said,
Yep.
let's go. But it's just a matter of timing right now.
Yes, it's been very,
So we're just
very
waiting
hard.
patiently.
If you really do have a lawyer you're talking to,
Yes.
file that lawsuit now so that there's a court order so that you don't have to rely on anybody else but that judge to see to it that they don't interfere with your efforts to regain control over your wayward 14-year-old daughter.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
correct, ma'am. You're
But
right.
do it. Don't wait any longer.
I
No,
tried
that's
to get
done.
order of protections, but because we're not related and she's a minor, they wouldn't give them to me.
I don't understand. She's a minor, and that's why it should be granted. That's what I don't understand.
They-
But if you can't get it that way, then go into court for it.
Okay.
Now, what is this iPhone 6 Plus, Ugg boots, and sweater?
Well,
Those are the things she ran away with that Friday morning, never to be seen again, which was reported to the CPS worker. Melinda had it, and then I have a message from the detective saying the dad says they don't have it, but I've never seen any of
How
the
do you know
property.
Belinda had it with that phrase you said?
My CPS worker said I can try to get you the.
That's not the same as knowing Belinda had it. Do you have something from the CPS worker saying that?
That's the thing. She couldn't release. She can't give us
because the
that.
case.
I don't understand why not.
Because
you
the
guys
case
ended up
was
taking
open.
time off lost from work. You're suffering for pain and suffering for, according to you, a false claim with CPS and harassment.
Right.
Let me hear from you guys on the falsity of the CPS claim. Did you call that in?
No. When she went to the hospital on the day, Claudia chose on the day she was found to go to the hospital. The social worker at the hospital contacted CPS. We didn't contact them. I haven't contacted them.
Understood.
I haven't made any false reports.
Let
The
me see.
hospital
You have
opened
some
it.
text between your son and your daughter, correct? Is there something
Yes.
funny to you?
No, Your Honor, I just wanted
Okay,
to show
because
you
you
the
keep
picture.
breaking
All
into
the pictures
smile,
were
and I'm
re-
trying to understand why you keep breaking
I
into
just wish
smile
I
and
could-
something that's utterly heartbreaking, and you're doing it now
is.
too.
I agree, but it's what
Yeah.
they're saying. It's making me smile because
There's nothing funny about what they're saying.
They're lying.
That
That's funny
lying
to me.
shouldn't make you smile.
Okay.
Under no circumstances should there be a
I
smile on your
apologize,
face.
Your Honor.
Let's talk about the text between the kids.
Sorry.
Right.
Apologize.
Who's talking to who in these texts?
Jay.
It's Tyler and Claudia, my daughter
And their
and
son.
their son.
I'm telling you, that blank is definitely the moves I'm trying to torture her with you. That'd be the literal funniest blank as she saw us pull up as torturers. I could imagine her being so scared knowing we're about to blank her up. I don't care. I'll go with you if I have to. I just don't want to leave your arms again. I hate waiting when it comes to you. I lose way too much patience and get way moody. I wish we didn't have to wait, knowing we both want to see each other so much. She responds, I just miss you. I can't wait to just hold your face and kiss you until I can't breathe anymore. He responds, if only, with how crazy we both feel, like we could only give Christina, that's you,
Yes, ma'am.
the worst of the worst, and nobody else could. I know you hate her. I hate her even more. She's the problem to everything. I wish she would just drop dead.
Your Honor, this is the message.
Maybe a few months from now, we can make it seem like we drift apart or something, so if I ever run away again, they won't question you. Believe me, I hate her enough to know. I hate her enough. I know you have to despise this thing. Dropping dead ain't even enough for her, though she needs torture, so she wishes death. Torture her so bad, her body is irreparable. Keep her alive so she's even more mentally unstable, and kill her off as she lived, her paranoid-filled life. If you could do that and not go to jail, you know I'd let you baby. Christina deserves the worst of the worst.
Okay, so after hearing those text messages, which are absolutely atrocious, these two parents were like, yeah, go ahead and hang out with each other. What? They were willing to allow these two to hang out together? This makes Romeo and Juliet seem like it was really not even that big of a deal, if you ask me. This situation is literally criminal. I think that they should be investigating the child as well for criminal charges because they're plotting against the mother. Like this is so potentially dangerous, so potentially horrible that it could lead to very tragic scenarios. So, do you think that these two parents here need to be in jail? What do you guys think? Because so far, I feel like they are very, very dangerous to be having out free and just raising kids because they clearly are not doing it well.
Blah, blah, blah. You give me the best always since day one. You've sacrificed so much for me. I hope she gets more than fired. Let me see her on fire. I want to hear her screams out for help as her flesh burns and sticks to her ugly face. Now let me ask you, sir, as a therapist for youth,
Yes, ma'am.
are you perhaps thinking now that having her around your son may not be the best thing?
It's not the healthiest thing, Your Honor.
Because if this is what she's writing your son, and your son's in love,
I never saw
maybe that you had never heard this.
I never saw that.
Exactly. How do you know this isn't going to be just another one of those cases? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, both of you. You think you have the facts to make decisions that are so weighty and that will have such effect on people's lives, including your own son, and you don't have the facts. You guys need to run, not walk, to a civil courthouse to file a complaint for their interference in your parental rights. You need to talk to your lawyer about it, and you need to do it today so that it can get in front of a judge who will then order them not to have anything to do with your daughter. Quite frankly, I don't know how you can continue to work on this with two adults who have the hubris to think they know better and to continue to go against what you want as parents and what everyone is working towards in unification here. All of the professionals, all of the cops, all of the probation officers, all of the therapists, everyone's working towards a goal that they are stopping you from achieving. So stop being a victim. Go to court and file a lawsuit to get the order that you want. You understand?
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
meantime, I'm going to rule on what's in front of me here. You have a counterclaim for $2,000 against them for harassment. What's that about?
About them threatening to kill me, my son.
When he's looking for his daughter and she's there?
No, after she was found, to threaten to kill me, my kids, and my
But
cat.
after that, you continue to have her over, and she was welcome there whenever you want because according to you, it's perfectly legal. And then he would go there.
Said it was okay. They
Right, so
know
he would go
everything.
there, and
they
he would
know everything at upstate.
Yeah.
They
So
know that the
how
drug
is his
dealers-
presence there is to kill you as opposed to get his
Oh,
daughter,
you wanna
which is
come
what
in
they
and buy-
keep
and buy me a
doing.
beer? What do
No,
I think?
did you
All
hear my
these
question?
threats,
Did you
all
hear
these
my-
threats.
Did
Let
you
him
hear
go
my
out there and shake
question?
his hand.
Did you hear my question? Why are you deducing that his presence in front of your house would be to kill you as opposed to get his daughter from you, his 14-year-old daughter?
She was already returned.
I'm not talking about the big hiding incident with
okay.
helicopters. I'm talking about after that. After that, the probation officer went to your house and she was there, and you both looked me in the face and she's welcome there anytime. It's perfectly legal, and I'm going to keep welcoming her there.
That's what the judge said. I'm not going against the judge's order.
Do you hear what I said?
Yeah. I'm talking about.
I don't think
I'm
you do.
talking about real
I think I'm
judges in
talking to
Rochester.
a frickin' wall. That's what's happening here. I keep talking and nothing's going in your thick head.
That's 'cause
because
you-
you're so busy trying to be right that you don't understand the position. Get out of my courtroom.
Okay.
I've had enough with your laughing.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Listen to
for
me.
that.
I need everybody to listen to me because our contact here is going to be over. Okay? But you guys have to go back to your children who don't listen. And I don't mean to, I know that,
I know.
that when you have a child who has become ungovernable, that people get through this. That child will grow. That child one day is going to be a woman, a mother, she's going to have a job. And if there's a God, she's going to have her own children. right?
Hopefully.
And then her children will give her some trouble. And that's the day she'll look back at the two of you and beg forgiveness. And, it's just, this isn't going to last. But you don't, while you're working on this so hard, the last thing you need are two unrepentant, smug other parents interfering. So I don't really care about an iPhone. I don't really care about Ugg boots. I don't really care about a sweater. I care about lost wages because they hid your child. And when you sue for the rest of that money for pain and suffering for making a false claim, I don't know whether they're the ones who made that false claim, but I sure as heck know they're the ones who had that child in their house and have caused you a great deal of pain and suffering. So I am ordering Mr. and Mrs. McManus to pay you the $5,000 cap that you are asking for in this courtroom. But again, it's not going to stop until you get that court order. On your counterclaim against them for $2,000, here's a shocker. No. I wish you the best of luck. Don't give up on her.
No, man.
Because if she feels, but I'm really, you know what? I'm actually talking to you right now.
I never will.
I know. You are her mother. There is no other mother.
I am her mother.
That lady isn't her mother. The lady who walked out isn't her mother. You are her mother. And she needs to feel like you're going to keep fighting. Okay?
I will.
You have to
Work harder.
shine as a mother.
Thank
Good
you, Your
luck.
Honor.
Well, in a riveting case, the plaintiff has prevailed. They're going to get the $5,000. Miss McManus, you just got leveled by the judge, too. What are you thinking right
I
now?
have no comment right now.
Pardon?
No comment right now.
No comment at all?
No. Thank you, though.
You know, you lost the case big time,
I know.
and it's not over.
I know.
You have more legal
I know.
issues facing you in court.
I know.
You could go to jail.
I know.
It's possible. I guess the question is, have you learned anything from all of this? You keep
Not-
allowing her into your
not-
home.
I didn't allow her in my home. My husband did. I'm not home. But I should steal my ground and not have her in my house anymore.
You know, I hope you've learned something from this experience, because you know, in real other court, could be worse.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
you.
very much. All right. All right, Mr. and Ms. Vasquez. This is really a rough situation.
No, I'm just happy. I'm gonna thank the judge for, letting the truth come out and seeing them for what they really are, jerks. As parents, we have to work together. Our life was perfectly fine before this. We're a happy family, and we're gonna continue to
Well,
be
let's
a
hope you
happy
can get
family.
there. Somehow, some way.
We will. We'll
Good
be
luck
fine.
to you.
Just gotta get rid of them.
Well, this was really wild, and I feel like the father who looked like a magician that would perform in Las Vegas, I feel like there was more to it that he wasn't being quite honest about because he was so terrified about losing his job as a youth therapist. Because I feel like if he was willing, after all of this that happened, to continue to allow the daughter to come over to his house afterwards, if it was me, I'd be like, no way in the depths would I ever allow that to happen, because he made it sound like he was so upset with his son and his wife that the cops had to get in between him in that situation. But the thing is that doesn't make sense is if that were true, why is it that he continued to allow the daughter to come over to the house? And something is telling me, because there's something else going on here, and I think that it is a very dangerous situation. Now, the daughter, she has her issues. And these parents, her biological mother left her and, now has this stepmom who's trying to fight for her. There's a lot of things that are going on here that do affect the way a child is growing up, and it makes it very difficult in these years. But I'll tell you one thing. When you have parents who are going against actively your current parents, it's going to fog up and cloud the judgment of the child and the way they perceive their parents, because there's no way that love is going to be expressed if you have another set of parents telling the child that that they're okay to run away from their parents, that they're okay to hide from their parents, that they're okay to wish these horrid things onto their parents. So I want to know what you guys think about this case, because I think it was really strange, and there's more to this than I feel like we are being told by the situation and what evidence was laid out. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Is there ever a case where this is okay? Do you think that the daughter was being, in a scary situation and in danger, or was she just being a teenager? I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments down below.